Right, welcome back to the channel. A brand new video on a new car. Pouring down with rain outside, so I'm unable to do a proper intro. Managed to get the car into the garage though, so let me show you what I've got. So it's a 2016 Mazda CX-5. I've bought it basically for my wife. She wanted something a little bit bigger, but it's got a couple of issues with it. I've just repaired the number plate. I just need to swap the little self tappers for stainless steel. I just wanted to get it in. Both headlights are glazed over, so need sorting. It had a broken clip on the centre console, which I've removed, and I've done a DPF regen already. Should have showed it, but I wasn't going to film this. Reason why I'm filming it, it's got a bit of a dent on the back. I've pushed most of it out, but it needs a little bit of finessing and a little bit of a mark on the bumper. So I'll show you how I'm going to repair that. So I've got, if you look, I've got a crease there and a crease here. Pulled most of this out with glue, which I should have filmed but didn't. And then there's a little crease there where clearly it was a post and it sort of caved in all this section, but I've managed to push most of that out. I've ordered a thing for removing the decal because I want to do that before I get... In fact, I might just do it with a flat disc, to be honest. Now, it's quite a nice model. It's got electric front and back windows, heated seats, full electric seats. So I'll show you. Tinted glass, full electric memory. It's done, I can't remember what it's done. 101,000 miles I think it's done. Had no fault codes when I did it. 6-speed, has got sat nav, it's a touch screen as well, dual climate control. It's a nice motor. Interior's in really nice condition. Little sign there where there's been a baby seat, and this is where the armrest was. To get to this, I have stripped out the boot lining and I've removed the support while I do the repair. You see there the little kink, and I wanted this off, ready for painting it. So this here is my homemade tool that I'm hoping to repair this with. I'll focus in and show you. So to start with, got a couple of little fans, an on and off switch, and then if I open it up, you'll be able to see what it is. So in here, I've got all my repair pieces, slide hammer, spotter gun, earth cable and power cable, and then under here we've got 3 microwave transformers, a 12 volt connection and a 12 volt to 240 volt relay. And it's basically a homemade spotter that I've made with 3 microwaves that I found for free on Facebook Marketplace. The rest of the BMW power cables that used to go to the boot, and an earth clamp off an old welder. And I already had the spotter attachments from when I MIG welded them onto the Transit when I took some dents out of that a few years ago. So what the hope is, now bear in mind I've never done this and I haven't tried this tool yet. I've ordered a tripod as well that'll be here to do this, but That's going to be put onto there, spotted one up there and on all the other dents, and we're just going to try and pull that out. I don't know what I'm going to attach it to yet. What I might do is just put something really heavy over here and ratchet strap it, or I may just use a slide hammer. I don't know what's going to be. I don't know if the slide hammer is going to give it too much pull. But what I'll do is I'll grab the tripod and we'll start cleaning up all of this ready. I wish I'd shown it before now, but I wasn't going to show this because it's a bit of a boring car. I wasn't going to bother showing it, but I might as well. So as I showed earlier, I've got a crease across here and down here, and then up here, and there's a little bit of a bow in there that needs to be taken care of, as well as a tiny bit down here. So what I'm going to do, just waiting for me to charge up, I'm just going to get some 80 grit and just basically take all of the paint off this area. Alright, as hopefully you saw then, what I knocked out has actually made it not too bad. Got a couple of low spots here which need pulling out, but what I'm going to concentrate on first is this crease across here and this big line down here. Now this could easily be got out with filler. We've got a little crease there, but I think I'm going to be able to pull this out, so it needs an absolute minimal amount. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect the battery. I'll try it with keys instead. So here you can see I'm using the keys. I did try before the keys to use like the zigzag wires, but for some reason it wouldn't stick to the metal. I have a feeling it was because it was slightly corroded, a little bit dirty. So anyway, proceeded with the keys, put a piece of threaded bar through, and I'm going to try and use the grip it came with the slide hammer to pull it out. So basically I just carry on and keep having a go. I'm going to leave it on. I wouldn't normally leave it. I'd keep cutting it, but I want to show where I made mistakes and what happened. So I'll put a bit of music on for you. It's only a minute or two long, if that, and see what you think. So it seems my homemade spotter is working. I'll show you the results. It's obviously not perfect 'cause this is my first ever attempt, but this dent is pretty much all out. A couple of tiny little high spots I just need to knock down. Tiny little bit there. All this bit is pretty much gone, and I've straightened up the line there, as you can see. So that's just going to want the smallest little skim of filler. Deliberating over whether it's even worth repairing that, but I think while I've got the paint out, so I've got to get it mixed, I will do. So I think I'll leave it for tonight. In fact, no, I'll bang a quick layer of skimmer on ready to come off tomorrow. Alright, so it's actually been a few days now. It's after work. I'll show you where it is, just so you can see again. Like I said last time, it's there. All the lines are pulled. There's some tiny little bits in it, but I'm going to throw a coat of filler on that now. So I'll stick you on the tripod and we'll put some filler on. I'm on an older phone that I've been using previously at the minute. I've got some DJI mics, some DJI minis, so hopefully you can hear a difference in the sound quality from this section onwards. I've got a new iPhone 16 as well, and I've got the rest of the kit, so hopefully it'll get even better from there. So I'm going to start doing a couple of different angles if I can, hopefully try and build the quality up a little bit better. So get you on the tripod anyway, start getting this filled out, and then I'll decide what to do with the bumper. Paint's been delivered as well, hopefully the colour's right. I've got my 2K primer as well, and I've already got some lacquer. Got my filler ready. It's a U-Pol filler that I use. Nice big spatula. And I'm just gonna get a nice big layer on, and then I'll start flattening it off after that. You can see it's not over the top. See the metal through a lot of it. But I'd rather just have enough on so I can sand it off. Save doing loads of coats. There'll be a little bit of shaping to do around here. See there, the shape's completely coming in really easily. I'd love to keep the colour below this line, but I can't. Not yet anyway, not with my current skill level. Maybe one day. As I'm doing this, I can see that the panel where I've straightened it is absolutely spot on. What I'll do is I'll just make a little bit of a sharp line that I can then work on afterwards. Stop messing with this in a second. I'll show you a close-up in a second. Just going to put a bit of a thicker bit on there, just knowing that that may sink as it dries. Alright, just clean off my spatula. I have got a load left, but I'd rather just bin it than you try and use it somewhere. So as you can see, I've got probably a little bit too much filler on there, but what I'll do is I'll knock it off with quite a heavy grit. I was saying that because it's so thin on the sides, I might not bother. Might just knock it down with a DA on over the bumps, and then we'll use the big block, I think. But as you can see, sort of where it matters, it's not actually as thick as it looks, and when you see it come off, it'll be even better. I think I'll go and grab the paint and we'll have a look how good the match is. Right, so this is the paint I've had mixed up. It's Mazda Blue Reflex Pearl Metallic, and let's have a look. It's quite dark, isn't it? Might be just because it's on the blue spatula. Try and get it at the same angle. I think we'll be able to get that to blend. Yeah, should be able to. Does just look that little bit too dark though. Saying that, on the brown paper there, it's not too bad. Yeah. Hopefully that'll blend in. What I'll try and do is I'm going to have to just flick it up a little bit, I think. Try and blend it over there. I'm in two minds whether to, because I'm not a painter, so to speak. I'm in two minds whether to try and fade out the lacquer halfway down to save me painting the whole tailgate, and do the same on the boot. So they're saying that, sorry, the bumper's got a few scuffs up to about here, so I'm going to try and blend the bumper out over there. And I need to decide yet whether to try and keep it in a little bit, but we'll cross that bridge when this is pretty much flat. It's only 8 degrees. I've just started the fire burning. Try and get a bit of heat into this back corner here, so we can move on a little bit quicker tonight. So this has now gone off enough to at least get rid of the high spots. So I'm going to knock it off with the DA and some 120 just to get rid of the ridges, and then I'll get the sanding block. Just need to put my air compressor on. I've got my air compressor on a smart plug, so I can put that on there. I've put it through a relay and a 40 amp, well, it's a 40 amp relay and a smart plug, so that should be on now. Just needs to build the pressure up. hopefully you just saw, I can get it in focus. Just de-aired that down, just with 120. See how it's quite thin? There's a couple of little low spots here, but they might not be as low as I think, because I still need to take a chunk out of this section here. So I'm gonna get some like a dust coat on that. I've got some I think I've got some dust coats, actual proper stuff somewhere. I've got a little bit of a high spot where the spotter was attached, so I just need to knock them down. It's literally where the spotter was as well, so I'll just tap them down a tiny bit and put a little thin coat on, and that there's just a tiny bit high as well. Then hopefully that'll come out a bit thinner, but as I say, it's nearly all out, and I have a feeling, like I say, this bit's gonna come out as well, and you can see at the bottom there, really thin. So it's only a tiny coat of filler that's actually on it. Just had a route round the garage and I've just found this. It's Merca Dry Guide, so get this on. Straight away I can see there's a pinhole. I found some filler as well for bumpers, for the little tiny dent down there. So that's on. I'll do this just for the first couple of strokes without the hoover on, so you can hear what's going on. But this is why I didn't want to put any filler in there, because as you can see straight away, massive high spot in the middle, which is what I could feel. This is with 320 grit, so I'm gonna have to stick the hoover on now so it don't clog up. As you can see here, basically just moving the block around, trying to sort it all out, a little bit at a time. A couple of little low spots in it, but I'm getting rid of most of them. Trying to finesse the edge piece. It does end up needing a little bit more work than I thought on that bit. Right, so as you can see, we have got a little tiny bit of a low spot here, but it does want sanding down a bit. I don't want to go too far though, so I've not got enough filled up, so I just need to fill in these little bits here. That's okay. There's a couple of little tiny spots there which I'm going to have to get with I think dolphin glaze. This bit's looking good. I've got there's like a little bit of a bump that goes up there to match the other side. That seems to be in it. I'll have to do this by hand, but there's a couple of tiny little pinholes in it first, and then obviously I just need to knock down the little bits that I said about before. So yeah, so that should curve down like that. Curves down that way. So let's just knock these down. Alright, so I've just chucked a tiny skim of stopper just on that edge, ready. I've filled in some little tiny pinholes, ready to go over that again tomorrow with 600s. I've gone round that bend there and I've just taken it a little bit further on just to make sure that's flat. I just felt a tiny deviation. So runway. Leave it like that for tonight. I'll pick this up in the morning when hopefully I'll get that block down and we'll get probably 3 good coats of 2K primer on it. I've got some soft edge tape which I've never used before, which I'm hoping to use sort of on the edges here for the primer, just to try and keep it more localized. Just throwing a quick log on the wood burner so that it just stays hot for another hour, just to knock this off. So I'll catch you again in the morning.